Welcome to the Superhero of Love podcast. I am Bridget Fonger. I wrote a book called Superhero of Love, Heal Your Broken Heart, and Then Go Save the World. That book is going to be out in January 2019, but I didn't want to wait until that time to start talking to superheroes of love. And guess what? Here's the news. You are a superhero of love. And through talking to other superheroes like yourself, tapping into that little superhero inside of you, I'm hoping that you and I and all of us start feeling more and more like superheroes of love, meaning that we love and are loved more than ever before. So welcome. Let's get this party started. So welcome, superheroes. We are here today with a beautiful human. Her name is Lisa Lang, and I met her the other day when I was at my most exciting event with Jen Pasteloff at the Shopkeepers in Santa Barbara, California. We had an amazing event, and the event was called What the World Needs Now, a conversation of fierce listening and loving. I don't know why that took a little while to come out of my mouth. A conversation on fierce listening and loving. And everybody's heard me mention Jen Pasteloff's book on being human in this podcast repeatedly. And I've interviewed her, and her Love Forward talk was featured on here. And so I'm all about, and I was just interviewed this morning for somebody else's podcast, and I was mentioning Jen all over the place. I'm super excited about her work and what she is, all the things that she stands for, like, don't be an asshole, and I got you. And on that note, I'm going to show you, because it just reminded me that, I am showing you guys these bracelets, and I'll put a picture of these bracelets also in the podcast notes in honor of this event that we just did where I met Lisa. These are 4 bracelets, and 2 of them are designed by Patty Pallier for Jen's book, Don't Be an Asshole, and I Got You. And 2 of them are designed for my book, Superhero of Love. Who doesn't want a superhero of love cuff? Who doesn't want to go out into the world acting like a superhero of love? Oh my God, we all do. And I am love, which is a mantra that I like to use, and it seems to calm my heart when I use that. So I think it's just a really great reminder also. So those are the 4 cuffs that were featured at this event where I met Lisa, and the video, some video clips, and possibly the entire video, we haven't decided yet, of the event on Sunday will be on YouTube on the Superhero of Love channel at some point soon. So you can watch out for that. But after the event, this lovely woman came up to meet me and told me about her new project that she's doing, which is spreading love. And how could we not be more excited about that? I am so excited to introduce you, Lisa Lang. Welcome.
Hello. Oh, thank you so much. I'm really excited to talk with you today.
I'm so excited for you to be here. So now I want you to tell us the journey. I want you to tell us about the project, but lead us in with where you're coming from. Tell us a little bit about the journey that led you to this point where she's going to be launching this in September. But I wanted to have her on the podcast now because I think it's important to help her gain momentum in this journey. So that's why we're talking today before this thing launches. But tell us all about the journey that got you to this moment in time.
Yeah. Thank you. And that's awesome that you recognize that this would, build momentum. And that's exactly what we need right now. So thank you. So what got us here to now? So almost 4 years ago now, I was going through a really devastating breakup of my own. And I was living in Phoenix, Arizona at the time, and took the weekend to drive to Sedona with my dog, and just spent the weekend just being calm and healing my heart. And the last day I was there, I ended up, I don't know if you've ever been to Sedona, but
yes.
You have. Okay, great.
Yeah.
So there's a great little artist area called Tlaquepaque where they have art studios, and yeah. So I happened upon these beautiful beads that I found lying in baskets in front of the store. And I love hearts, and I was drawn to those beads, and they were only like a couple bucks each. So I bought 2. I bought this color and a red one, and the store clerk was gracious enough to put them on these leather necklaces. And I went home that later that day. And the next day, as you probably can relate, I was feeling that post-vacation letdown, being home. It's Monday now. you know how that is.
And the memories of the ex are also at home, right? Like they're embedded at home. When you go on a vacation, when you're recovering from a heartache, it's a little bit easier, right? To not be reminded as frequently.
Yeah. It feels good to be away. It feels good to be in new surroundings. And so now I've got this post-vacation letdown, and I'm still going through a breakup, and now it's Monday. So I was getting ready that morning, and it was just a very quick split-second decision that really sparked this entire journey. I was looking in the mirror as I got dressed, and I was like, oh, I'm going to put on one of my new necklaces. And as I was putting it on, I thought, as a way to perk myself up, I thought, it would be fun if anybody compliments me today, I'm going to offer to give away my necklace to them.
Wow,
so
cool.
It was just that simple. And I went out the door and I went to my dentist appointment, to an office that I had never been to. And the very first person I met was my dental assistant. And the first words out of her mouth were, oh my God, I love your necklace.
Oh my God, that's so fantastic.
So it was just like, boop, 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 boop. And it just so happened, because I've done this numerous times since, because this is like such an exciting moment for me, and exchange, that I've bought more necklaces, and I've done it multiple times since. And there's usually an impact, but like this happened to be such an extraordinary impact that it inspired me. And so she first was like, no, I couldn't. I offered to give her the necklace, and she said, no, I couldn't. And just as most people do, like when they're
that's your first instinct.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Which, that's something to look at too. Like,
right.
Accept the gift.
Right. But it's vulnerable. It's vulnerable to receive. Yeah.
It is. And then once I was like, no, this is my plan. And I offered to give it to her, and I explained everything. She was like so taken aback. And she's like, I have 2 young sons at home. I'm always telling them, how it's so important to be kind wherever you go. You never know how you're going to impact somebody. So she already had like a lot of reference for this experience.
Wow.
And belief systems. But it wasn't until like the next time I went to see her and went to that office, and multiple times after, she was always wearing the necklace. And I asked her, I'm like, what is it about that meant so much? She's like, I never take it off. She's like, my sister wants it. And this person, she's like, I never take it off. She says, because to me, I'm the mom, I'm the assistant, I'm the wife. I'm always doing for other people. And that was the first time in such a long time somebody had done something for her.
Oh, that's so beautiful. That's a huge impact. Wow.
And
and
how could I have known? And for me, it was like split-second decision. It was a $2, like not a big deal on my part. It wasn't like I planned this extraordinary thing for somebody. And I woke up a few days after that, and I was just like, I literally shot out of bed. I'm like, and I'm like a creative. So like this stuff happens to me, but certain things stick and others don't. But I shot up and I was like, oh my God, this has to be a thing. Like we need a website where people can go and see what, people are doing throughout the world all the time, that is just like a simple act of kindness to remind us that we actually live in this a really beautiful, loving, friendly world. And because so much of the time we see what's not loving and friendly, and it can feel scary or we're not always feeling good when we go to Facebook or we go to turn on the news or whatever it is. And I was thinking, I feel like there's something here. So that's really
project. And your project, I love your website too. So tell them your website, and which is also the name of your, it's partially the name of your project too, but your project's name is?
And my project's name is Spread Goodness.
I love it. It's so simple and it's so beautiful. And your website is?
Spreadgoodness.love.
I love that. That's so beautiful. I'm so excited for you. Okay, so tell us how you are taking that out into the world. So
very, honestly, this idea came to me, and it was like, first, as I was like, and this was also part of like a healing my heart journey, because like the more I got distracted with this experience and like growing this and developing it, the more I was distracted from, the pain or whatever. So not whatever, but you understand.
Yeah.
And so like
yeah, you can only
idea
take,
kept growing.
you can only take those tough healing moments, you know, one chunk at a time. Like you can be doing the deep healing and then you need a break. Give me a rest. You know, it's like a marathon, right? Or I call it a high intensity interval spiritual training is what I call it. Instead of high intensity interval training like in sports. And you need to have a time to just walk instead of be sprinting all the time. So yes, I agree. That's great that it gave you that.
And what's natural to me is I like tend to, you know, get creative in moments like that. So this idea really grew into something way too big that I, you know, like I would have need a whole team of people and, you know, tons of money around it. So it was really over the course of the last few years that it, you know, different idea. I would come to it at different times with different ideas, and I would journal. And I had another business I was working on, so I was very busy. So this was like on the side. Every so often I would go to it and grow it. And so it pared down over the past few years down to, you know, I whittled it down to something that I felt like was manageable. And so what we're starting with is something called the Spread Goodness Challenge. And hopefully after the Spread Goodness Challenge, that'll keep building momentum and a platform and, you know, and awareness. And we can build multiple campaigns that will follow. So
Yay.
Do you want me to go into that?
Yeah. Tell me how you're doing that. I just have to say I didn't make this point of why I wanted you to say the website. Yeah. I had no idea, which is spreadgoodness.love again, but I had no idea that there were .love URLs. Yeah. Are you kidding me? Like I never knew that.
Awesome. Yeah, I know. There's now like everything. And that's actually a beautiful story too. I don't know if I should riff here or not, but
yeah. Tell us.
You want? Okay.
Yeah.
So it's been a lot of synchronicity over the last 4 years with this project. And I really feel like it's being guided and, you know, by spirit. And I'm trusting that the universe is behind this. And so back the few days after that experience with my dental assistant, when I came up with the idea, I went straight to the website. And I might have had a few names in mind, but Spread Goodness really stuck. And I went to the website and spreadgoodness.com was taken. So it wasn't being really used. So I emailed the user through the channels and just let it go. And then I was like, you know what? I'm not going to let that stop me because I could still and I was doing my research and found the .love. I'm like, that could be even better.
Yeah.
And I believe it is. Like that's meant to be for sure. And I don't know how long after, maybe a week, 2, 3 weeks, maybe even a month. I don't remember, but I did hear back from the original owner. And it was one of those things where the husband got these emails and really never really did anything, usually deleted them and wouldn't pass them on to his wife who had the website 12 years prior. And he happened to give it to her. Her name is Lori. And she reached out to me. Guess where she lives?
Where?
She lives in Mesa, Arizona.
Oh my God.
20, 30 minutes away from where I was.
Oh my God. That's incredible. Of all the places on the planet Earth that she could be living. Right. Oh my God, that's so cool. That's a cool side story. Can I ask you did you ever read the Celestine prophecy?
I have read parts of it. I feel like too many years ago to remember.
Yeah. It was back in the 90s, but I was just talking about this in yesterday's podcast interview, actually, how she loves the Celestine prophecy. And to me, because you mentioned synchronicities, and when I read that book, I started keenly paying attention to synchronicities, and it really changed my life because it, in fact, immediately changed my life because I was going to be opening up a drive-through cappuccino place. I was on vacation in Venezuela. We came back and there was the Northridge earthquake and we had to help save the people across the street. And it was a horrific. We were at the top of Beechwood Canyon, which was hit really hard. And so I stopped. That made me stop and say, do I even want to be in the food service industry? It was going to be the first drive-through cappuccino place in Southern California. But I was, it was like no, maybe I don't want to do that. And I just followed the synchronicities and I ended up opening an angel store, which was like this amazing magical experience when angels were really, really, really big in the 90s. Yeah. And it was like one of the very first angel stores in the country. From that moment, I mean, I read the book literally on the vacation. I finished reading it on vacation, came home, started watching for synchronicity. So ever since then, it's just kind of like, watch anyway. So I was curious if you had known about it.
Yeah, well, I do know about it, and I believe in synchronicity too. In these moments where that stop us, like you're describing.
Yeah.
And you still have the angel store?
No. I only had it for a couple of years. It turns out I don't really like people.
Okay. So retail.
I mean, I didn't like dealing with the public in that way every single day, all day long. It just wasn't for me.
Yeah,
so,
I get that.
But it was a magical experience while it lasted. And it was also a really hard and dark experience, which was also great. It was just full of wonderful lessons, on both sides of the thing. But anyway, but synchronicities brought me there. Anyway, okay, so back to, I love that. I love that story of the URL. That's a really fabulous story.
And long story short, we became friends. We met up. We became.
Oh my God.
Yeah, she's like the best person, and I love her. And just last year, she said, "I love what you're doing. I want to give you the URL." So.
Oh my God, that's so great.
And that's just like a byproduct, but like the beautiful thing is that we formed this beautiful friendship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they can go to spreadgoodness.com and it'll lead them to spreadgoodness.love.
Yeah. They're all pointing there. Yeah.
Great. Perfect. So that's easy. But I love spreadgoodness.love. Oh my God. That is so incredibly cool. Okay. So tell us, so the website is the center of the spread goodness world. So tell us how that works, how you're creating this world and how people can step into your world.
Okay, great. So, the very first, once the Spread Goodness Challenge launches in September, there will be cards like this out in the world. And the hope is one day there will be hundreds of thousands and even millions of these cards all over the world in all the countries. And pretty much this card, it says, join the Spread Goodness Challenge today. And on the back, it has a prompt that pretty much summarizes to do something kind and unexpected for someone you don't know. Share your story on our platform, spreadgoodness.love, and then leave this card behind for someone else to find. So the hope is that this card keeps traveling, into different hands. You could send it to Aunt May in Michigan, or, leave it at the post office when you're done, whatever it is, you can, to pass it on. And the other unique thing about this card is it also has a unique code on it. So this one doesn't have a code on it yet, but each one will have a very specific code that everybody who touches this exact card, their story will populate in a feed with that particular, that is designated to that particular code.
Oh my God, that's
so you can actually
cool.
Impact. Yeah, thank you.
You can see where it's been. Oh my God, how fun would that be to fly it somewhere with you on vacation? That would be so fun to add to its story. Like, wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's cool. Okay, so how do people step into that? I know that's the chance. So how are those cards going to make their way into the world? Okay,
good question. So I obviously can't put out hundreds of. I mean, I could probably, but it would take me a really long time and a lot of right.
I'd rather have elves do it. We can be your elves. Yes.
Pretty much. I'm soliciting elves. The way that we're hoping to distribute, cards is through various other people's networks. So people like you who resonate with the message. I don't think I mentioned the mission, but who resonate with the mission, which is to uplift the vibration of the planet through acts of human kindness and generosity of spirit. So through the work they're doing, and obviously, your superhero of love completely aligns with that mission. We're hoping to become co-branding partners with as many people as possible. So whether it's a nonprofit or even a school or an author or a small business entrepreneur that is giving from their heart in some way, then we will co-design a card with that partner. So the branding will adjust according to what the branding of the partner. Is that clear?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
So you would, yeah. And you sent me a sample of what the Superhero of Love one would look like, which was really cool. And so I would then buy some cards and spread them out in the world. Is that the idea?
Yeah,
okay.
Right, exactly. So you would buy, however many cards that you wanted, and maybe you decide that you want to, for every book purchased, you would place a card inside the book for somebody to find when they bring it home. Maybe it's included, or maybe it's something that they could purchase on your website, or whatever it is. Yes, you would distribute these cards however way you want to your networks.
Okay, cool. And then you also sent me the website for one of the people that is already one of your are they called co-sponsors or ambassadors?
Yeah, right now we're calling them co-branding
partners. I'm so sorry. You just said that. And did I hear it? No, I did not hear it. Okay.
I think ambassador makes sense. Yeah. A sponsor makes sense. Right.
Yeah. So that website, is that where her cards will be? Like the cards that she disseminates, the stories will be connected to her page?
Pretty much. Yeah. So she'll have, numbers, she'll have a specific code for her 250 cards that she purchased so far. And each of those codes, once you go to the platform, you'll first enter your code, you'll share your story, you'll click submit so that the story can join the website. And once you click submit, you will come to her landing page that says, your card was sponsored by Kat Cronenberg, author of Love Big.
I get it now. Okay.
And then it gives.
Now I'm seeing the whole story.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I just spoke over you. Please say that one more time. Your last name.
I'm glad it lit up. So you'll land on her page. Your card was sponsored by Kat Cronenberg, author of Love Big, and then it'll give information about her, what she's doing to spread goodness in the world through the work she's doing, and why she thought partnering with Spread Goodness was in line with her mission, and then it would link to her website, so people who are really inspired by the work she's doing, they can learn even more. And so hopefully it's raising awareness for people like you and Kat and schools that are just spreading goodness already in what they're doing.
Yeah, that's so cool. But the cards are not out yet. You're just getting yourself all geared up for those cards going out. And when does it actually launch? What's your launch date?
Yeah, our launch date is in September, and it'll be kind of a soft launch. We'll get a few partners going. We'll learn from that, and then it'll just keep growing from there. But the first initial launch will be September.
That is very, very cool. Okay, I want to hear. You've worked a lot with kids, and I'd love to hear your work with kids, and because it feels like this is also something that would really resonate with kids. Like I could see kids loving spreading these things around too. So tell me about the inspiration that kids are for you, and tell us a little bit about all the work that you've done with kids, which is very impressive.
Sure. Thank you. Yeah, I agree that I hope kids love it. Well, I since I was in fourth grade, I wanted to be a teacher. And so that was my first career. Right out of college, I was a classroom teacher. I taught fourth and fifth grade first, and then I taught early childhood, 4 and 5-year-olds. And from that position, I grew into teaching. I also was a performer, so I also taught theater to kids after school, which grew into a larger position at the school. And out of that, I developed a performing arts workshop for kids throughout the Chicagoland area. So that's what I had been doing for the last almost 14 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So I love kids, love working with kids, very inspiring. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I love that you're going to send this, so schools will be partners too, right? That's your idea, that schools would be partners, which is great. Yeah. Wow. It's very cool.
Yeah. And that's another synchronistic event that happened when I first moved to California. I was introduced to a mutual friend of somebody I'd met, and she introduced us. She had no idea that I was developing developing Spread Goodness because I wasn't really talking about it a little over a year ago yet. And so she introduced us because we're both educators, we're both into the performing arts. And it just so happened that when I spoke with her, we met for coffee, and and it was literally an off the cuff. And also on the side, I'm working on this new project called Spread Goodness. And she leaned in, she's like, oh my God, tell me more about that. And it was really out of that we together collaborated to develop an idea for schools. And it's so it's so cool. Like, I love the collaborative aspect of this work. And
right.
Just so happens that she was the interim director at the time and one of the directors now of the Waldorf 100 celebration. So that means that Waldorf Schools of North America, they celebrate their 100th year anniversary this coming school year. And so she was really excited about possibly using the Spread Goodness Challenge as one of the ways they celebrate.
Oh my God, that is so damn cool. That is super cool. Oh my God, I love that. Yeah, and don't you feel like collaboration just makes everything better? Like if I'm in my own house designing something even, or whatever I'm doing creatively, it's like, nope, it just becomes so much better. Remember, somebody asked the question at the event about writing, and I was like, get your writing love league together, because collaborating with people and bouncing things off of people made my book so much better. And everything becomes better when and especially if you're having coffee and collaborating over coffee and deliciousness as you were with your new friend.
I agree. And it's really fun that way. And by the way, I love your idea of the Love League. And my friend that I went to the event with, like, she and I are already partnering to be part of a love league. So great idea. Yeah.
Yay, that's awesome. Yeah, no, it's such an honor to be in somebody's love league. It's a great honor. Actually, I don't know that I've talked about that in this podcast much, but so I'm just going to say it really quickly for the listeners. So one of the concepts in the book, one of the things that I recommend that people do before they do anything else really is set up their love league, which can be people that you know and people that you don't know. It can be people at work, it can be friends, it can be family, it can be a sister or a brother, it can be even parents. And these are people that you solicit to do whatever you want them to do that they're willing to do. And my love league, the most important people in my love league were the 3 women that lived in 3 different time zones so that I could call them to stop me from calling Mr. X. So if there was, they had to be in 3 different time zones though, in case it was happening late at night or early in the morning.
Oh my God. Would not have thought about that. Great idea.
So you make an agreement with your love league about what they're going to be doing for you, and then they either agree or don't agree. And I've never had anybody say no. I'm sure nobody's ever had somebody say, no, I don't want to do that with you. But there were, but if you need somebody that's going to take you out to dinner once a week or to a movie once a week, whatever, you can do that. Okay. So, what else do you want to tell us about moving this to a larger and larger scale, and how can people help you move it to a larger and larger scale?
Cool. Good question. Well, I think right now, the best way 2 things actually. The easiest thing right now is to go to our Facebook page and join us and like us. Oh, awesome. So it's facebook.com/spreadgoodness.love. So it's like our website after the slash. I hope I got that right, by the way.
It's okay if it needs to be corrected, we'll put it in the podcast notes. But we'll include the correct link in the podcast notes. So number 1 is join the Facebook group. Great.
We definitely want to build that audience. And then the second thing is check out our website, spreadgoodness.love. And you could do one of a few things. You could just check it out, be aware of what we're doing, and check back. We'd love for you to join, fill out the contact form so that we could stay in touch and keep you in the loop. And the big thing is that if you want to become a partner, please, there's going to be a form, or there is a form on the website that you can go to order your cards and give us your logo, and our graphic designer will design a customized card, and you'll give us content for your landing page, and we'd love to, the more partners that are aligned with our mission, that's the biggest, I think, way right now that we can build that momentum and get this message out there as big as possible.
And if there are any teachers listening, teachers can check it out for their schools. It could be a school project. It could be a classroom project. That's cool. All right.
It could be a language arts assignment. Yep.
Say that again.
And it could be a club. It could be a club at your school.
Yes.
It could be a language arts assignment that turns into geography lesson because you're tracking the cards on a map. There's a lot of multidisciplinary, integration.
Your teaching expertise is coming through full throttle, and your giant big heart, which was evident the other day. And I'm so happy that you came. What brought you to the event? I'm curious what brought you to the event.
Oh my God. Yeah, well, I'm new to Santa Barbara, but I've always, ever since I decided to move here, I've loved Shopkeepers and Patty, and I love what they're doing. So I was there earlier last week, saw the flyers, and right away I just wanted to come. So I love the what I knew that just from the flyers about your book, and then being there, I really loved getting to know you and Jennifer.
Oh my gosh.
And the work you're doing.
That's such a great synchronicity also that you came there. Because I had friends at the event who have lived in Santa Barbara for many, 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 many years, and they had never been to Shopkeepers before. And so I'm so excited that they came. Everybody, if you ever go to Santa Barbara, you must check out the Shopkeepers. It's on Anacapa Street, 137 Anacapa, but you can look it up. And they're on Instagram. Follow them on Instagram, the.shopkeepers. And Patty Paglier, you should also follow her on Instagram. And Waxing Poetic, which is her jewelry design company. She designs the most amazing jewelry, including these 4 cuffs that she designed for Jen and I. And this necklace she designed. She's an amazing jewelry designer, and she is the most giant heart on the planet Earth. I think she is isn't she? She's the most giant heart on the planet Earth. And so her store emanates that heart. So it was like the perfect, and they're going to keep doing these shop talks, this kind of event like we did at the store, which I'm so excited about because she's such a good moderator. Yeah. She was fabulous. She tapped into yet another creative thing. Everything she touches turns to gold, no pun intended, but turns to gold or silver.
Right. And her messages and her jewelry they're so uplifting and inspirational.
Yes. Go to waxingpoetic.com, you guys, and you'll see what we're talking about. Her heart is coming through directly through that jewelry. It's amazing. Yeah. So Lisa, thank you so much for coming today. And I'm glad that we're spreading goodness and getting the word out there right now. We have to spread the goodness now so that your launch is like super powerful, explosive love around the globe.
Yes. I'm excited, and I can't wait to see what people come up with, to spread the goodness. Right? Yeah. I can only imagine, what stories we're gonna be able to read.
I'm so excited for you. Thank you for coming.
So much, Bridget. It was my pleasure.
Thanks for joining us again, Superhero. If you haven't already rated and reviewed or subscribed to this podcast, please do so over at Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. We appreciate it. And it helps bring more superheroes of love into the fold. And watch the YouTube channel. If you could subscribe to Superhero of Love YouTube channel, that'll be a good thing because videos from last week's event will be posted soon. And we are starting to post videos of these podcasts. And in fact, in this podcast, Lisa was referring to things visually, and you'll be able to see those things on the YouTube version of the podcast. So thanks for coming, Superhero. Have a good one.